Well, Tim McKernan's here, host of TMA, which records next door. Also on our HD2 channel. Isn't it great how Hubbard over here is like collecting talent now? We got the best talent in this building in all of St. Louis radio, without a doubt.
You're a gentleman, sir, for saying that.
Yeah, now comes the, man, why is your guy microwaving shrimp?
Did it happen again yesterday?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's going on? See, we're coming from a place where there was nobody in the building, so you could act selfishly. But then Iggy, I guess it was Doug, reheated the shrimp. You witnessed it?
Oh, yeah. I was there for the whole thing.
If you missed this the other day, and we didn't say your names, by the way.
I noticed that. Well, I listened to the clip. We played it on the show. And I loved how you described a monster. That's what you said. A monster.
What monster does this?
But to your credit, Jeff, you didn't say who it was, which was a gentlemanly thing on your part.
Thank you.
But you witnessed Iggy and Doug in the reheating and the dining
process. Iggy was reheating it, and Doug was literally sitting at a table in there eating it.
So let me paint the picture for you.
I'm like, can we get you an office?
If you missed the show
not in this building.
Well, first off, Jeff comes into our office down the hall, and he goes, dude, he goes, you're not going to believe what's going on in the kitchen over there. He goes, Iggy from McKernan Show is microwaving shrimp, and Doug Vaughn is eating shrimp over eating what's coming out of the microwave over the sink. Like there's savagery going on.
I thought I was at the zoo for a minute. And not a free zoo, something you'd have to pay for.
And you said when somebody microwaves shrimp, everything
it
smells like shrimp.
Yeah, it's the glitter of microwavable food. It's there forever.
You could put all seafood in this category. Yeah. It's not solely even fish sticks. You fire up a fish stick in that microwave, and it's coming at you. But anything shellfish
has got a particular
way off the charts.
Yeah.
So the next maybe 20 things that will go into that microwave will then have a hint of shrimp.
Yeah. Casey was talking about how she was eating brown sugar cinnamon shrimp oatmeal over there because it still tastes like it.
Yeah. That's an elite class of brew.
Yeah, that is.
So you would have thought after this.
Congratulations to coming to the new place, and that's what you do.
And that's the mark we leave. We soil the place immediately. But you would have thought we would have learned a lesson, but my understanding is they went back to the well yesterday with scallops.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because I saw...
Those aren't offensive.
So I got tagged in something on Facebook that said, hey, here's a live video you should check out. And I click on it, and it's Iggy in his kitchen making scallop linguine or whatever the hell he's doing over there.
The picture looked delicious.
And yeah, it looked great. And all the comments, every one of the comments was, can't wait till this gets reheated and Rizz goes off the charts. Can't wait till the Rizz Show guys have something to say about this.
Okay, so
now I think that it's being done on purpose.
Yeah,
now it's on purpose.
Bad idea. It's a bad idea. Don't poke the beehive when you're the guests. Don't poke the beehive.
You're not the guest. You're now part of the team.
I know, but I mean, we're kind of,
It irritated Rizz so much that he unplugged the internet yesterday for a little time.
We both were dealing with that. So how does your audience handle it when you're not up on YouTube? Was it a little...
They completely think it's our fault.
Yeah.
And lose their minds.
All right, I'm glad we have that in common.
It's our fault. One of us probably did something wrong.
Who gets the
our
blame?
Fat fingers. Who gets the blame normally?
Well, yesterday it was people were saying that Jeff is so involved and versed in all sorts of plugs, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
That he unplugged something accidentally.
Oh, like a bee plug as opposed to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A butt plug? What?
Somebody did
I don't
say.
know how you connect those dots.
Somebody said, looks like
As of 2022, I don't bring those to work anymore.
Somebody did comment and say, what, did Jeff unplug the internet when he was removing his butt plug? And I went, okay.
Let's be truthful, though. King Scott usually gets the blame for it.
King Scott usually gets
is that what he's doing?
He usually catches hell, and that's kind of,
And that's kind of what happened yesterday.
And unfortunately, that's where it goes. Like, it's not because it's King Scott. He's the guy that does the podcast. He's the guy that does the phones. So anything technical that happens, Rizz could take a bucket of water and pour it on that board right now, and people would go, Scott, dry it up!
Yeah, we got to meet yesterday. But the IT department here was working.
They were on it.
On it. And I even said off the air, I'm like, oh, man, the McKernan guys in there, their main thing is on YouTube.
That's right. That's all we got.
Their main thing's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, like, you could watch your show after you guys are done.
That's correct.
Right, so it's
You guys don't have that set up, but that's because, I guess, the whole monster ratings thing. See, we don't have that. We're just this little fly-by-night operation next door. It's cooking
You're
shrimp.
not giving yourself enough. Yeah. enough credit. But cooking shrimp in the mic, it's disgusting.
Was it cooked? It's so. You know, I'm
Was it
glad.
cooked?
I'm glad to see that it was shrimp because at first I thought it was just Iggy that smelled it.
He smells like
And
menthol.
if you know anything about him, that could be the smell.
Well, and you know, since you guys were down, you know, in your other studio down in Kirkwood,
That's correct.
I mean, now you guys have to be reintegrated into society.
Into actual professionalism.
Uh-huh.
What we perceive as professionalism, whereas you guys may not necessarily feel that way. For us, this is as good as it has ever been.
When Emmis sold us to Hubbard, we were down at Union Station by ourselves for what, 3 months?
3 months. Yeah.
Oh, is that right? So everybody was kind of transitioning.
all the other
and you guys
stations.
were still down there.
So
you had the whole thing?
Casey came here first. 96.3 went to what is Odyssey now. 97.1 went to Odyssey, and our studio wasn't done yet.
This was in January. So after the Christmas break, we came back to an empty building.
I mean,
which
it's
is badass until you realize that everybody moved here, so the supplies stopped going
Yeah,
there.
we weren't getting
So what'd you have there?
We were on an island.
It was all fun and games until we were out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I had to make a couple
That's
Costco
the
runs.
honest to God truth.
There
yeah,
was
we
a
were-
day that we realized we're out of toilet paper, guys.
Yeah.
It was awesome. For the first couple of weeks, we're playing football and things like.
Oh,
we
you got
were,
that whole
like,
space to yourself.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
turned it into a
We
gymnasium.
hear Moon's downstairs. Our offices were upstairs. Moon's downstairs. And we just all of a sudden hear, "Burn," and we hear a megaphone, and Moon goes, "I found a megaphone."
No, we had a great time, and then we didn't, and it was Zombieland.
I still think my favorite part,
post-apocalyptic.
my favorite part of having that building to ourselves was on the very last day. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't.
The very last
Did I
day
throw
we
the
were there.
chair down the stairs?
Yep, Rizz took a rolling chair. We were at the top of the office, and Rizz goes, "I always wanted to do this." He took a rolling chair and just shoved it off the top of the steps, and it just tumbled and disintegrated.
Yeah, and Scott was in it.
It was really fun until the printer went needs ink, and we were like,
where do we get
what
that?
do
Shut it down.
What do we do now?
But and if something goes wrong, you know, it takes 45 minutes for somebody to get there.
Yeah, and my office had a couch in it.
Oh, that's right.
I took
Yeah.
over one of the big bosses.
right.
Yeah, you sure
offices. Yeah, that was great.
And this was all just if you safely made it into the building at 3 o'clock.
It's always a challenge.
Yeah.
But then when we came here, it was like, oh my God, there are people here. There are rules. There are office rules. Like we have to work within the community here.
I will say though, even we were in the entire giant Union Station building to ourselves, we still never would have microwaved shrimp. That is
It's disgusting.
Great
ridiculous
point.
class
Yes,
of rudeness.
yes, yes.
4 days in microwaving shrimp and then going back to the well with the scallops. What about when you came into those Kirkwood studios?
Yeah.
We did the podcast. Rizz was on the podcast. Iggy had just taken over the responsibilities of producing.
I was going to bring this
Good
up
idea.
too.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim, for bringing it
Yeah.
up.
And I'm like, this will be great.
I remember this.
Oh, it was brutal.
We sat down. We had a great conversation.
It was like 90 minutes you spent.
Like we just
in the
talked
studio.
about our careers, and it was like we had a great conversation. And then what happened?
And then Iggy, who of course is incredibly busy, got up in the middle of the interview and just didn't pay attention to the audio levels. And then the time came to put it out, and he didn't have your mic on.
Yep, the entire interview.
Oh man.
So you can hear me,
Yes.
but then you sound like you're, off in a cave.
I opened up, my heart to Tim.
And
What a
this
great
is-
conversation.
this
The
is
microphone
what you
was-
get.
This is what you get.
microphone wasn't even on. Radio 101 is
Are you sure he didn't do that on purpose?
It was sabotage.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a great company. We've enjoyed our couple
Hail
years
Hubbard.
here so far.
Hail Hubbard.
Hail Hubbard.
Hail Hubbard.
Hail
I always heard you say that, and now I get it.
You thought it was L. Ron Hubbard.
But now
thought
I
we were
get the whole
Scientologists.
program. Now I get the whole deal, man. This is at a different. So how many years you get? 3 years now here? Is that what it is?
3
About-
years here?
is
Let's
that
look at Tony.
Yeah, I want to say 2018.
It's 2018 because that's
Yeah.
because we came over here. Our very first day as Hubbard employees was the day before my weight loss surgery, and that was 2018.
Yeah, so we're about to start year 4 here.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Remember
when,
that chaos.
when they were doing health insurance.
Yeah, they canceled our health insurance at Emmis, and our new health insurance kicked in the very next day. And the next day, I was supposed to have surgery, and the hospital called me and goes, "You don't have insurance."
Oh, my.
And I went,
Yeah.
"What?" And they go, "We just canceled your surgery." And I went, "Great."
So Jeff did the surgery.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
I
And I
sneezed
paid for it.
twice during it.
Well, you got the chair in your garage,
Right.
with the stirrups.
Yeah. His undercarriage is beautiful, by the way.
He lost a good watch. Though.
Still haven't found my watch.
Amateur gynecologist Jeff Burton, also gastric sleeve bypass expert as well. He's a Renaissance man.
2 for 1.
But have you guys settled in over there? I mean, I think it's temporary, right? You guys.
Yeah, we're already going to a new studio right next to the restroom.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll
right,
see you guys
cool.
often.
I understand that's your.
Oh, that first room when you walk in. That's
Yeah.
gonna be your. That's gonna be your gig.
Yeah.
Flush
Nice.
as loudly as possible.
Yeah.
What's the why the change? Just is it?
Well, now that I'm in here, I see this is a much better setup for YouTube. You know, and so our setup's kind of awkward for YouTube.
Yeah, because they kind of built the studio for us, knowing that the cameras going to be
Cameras,
everywhere.
exactly. So
That
that
studio
setup will
wasn't
be-
built for that.
We gave them blueprints.
Yeah.
So this is what we
We actually came in here, and this is the honest God truth. We came in here, and this was the council was too wide,
Too
and
long,
they, and they had cut it down.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how particular they were for us.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
asked for a window, which we cover up now, which is nice.
We'll have no window. We'll be in a cave, but it'll be a better setup for
Yeah.
the podcast and for YouTube in particular. So yeah, man,
And they're treating you good.
It's so good, but I feel like it's like when you go to college and start getting hazed, and the first few weeks they don't tell you you're about to get hazed, and that's what I feel like the other shoe's going to drop because that's what we're used to. I mean, you've been through some of the same
Yes.
things that we have been through on the AM dial.
Yeah, I was telling these guys this is easily the strongest single signal you've ever been on, right?
It is.
I mean-
it's HD2.
Yeah.
That's correct. But I mean, it's been a nightmare for a number of years, and so we're just used to something insane happening.
Are you waiting for other radio shows to start messing with you guys? I don't think that's going to happen here.
It's usually management, actually. It's usually management. And I know Jeff was able to experience that a few years
okay,
ago.
management.
Yeah,
No,
AM where radio careers go to die.
Yeah, you guys both came from the AMs.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we made
saying,
it out,
man.
baby. We
We
made it out.
escaped.
He made it out from TV too. He started in TV.
Yeah, that
He
was,
was a smart enough man to go. I remember you telling me when you quit. I was like, "What are you doing? You were on TV, part-time sports guy, or not the head sports guy."
Savard was the head sports
Yeah,
guy.
and
Doug
you-
was the number 2 guy, and I was the number 3 guy. I was
you were
23
like,
starting
yeah,
out.
and you were like, they could hire somebody who just graduated from college and give him 10 grand less than or more,
100%.
or less than me, and I'm gone.
Because there's
So I'm going to go make my own money.
KMOV. I started there in 2000. I was 23, and it was like a dream job.
Yeah.
And I realized that there are so many people who want those jobs, you never, ever have a leverage in negotiation, ever. So there are, for real, when I got the job, I think they told me there were 212 tapes. At the time, it was VHS tapes. And it's like if I would have said, well, I need $5,000 more, they're like,
Yeah, we'll just go to the
piss
next
off.
day.
Exactly, man. There's a
Yeah.
guy in Tulsa.
Yeah, when you're
cut his
young,
nut
This
off.
guy who just graduated from Lindenwood University will do it for
Absolutely.
$5 grand
When
less
you're
or
young,
whatever,
you're
yeah.
so nervous to even take.
You just
ask for
sign.
anything.
You don't have
You're
an
like,
attorney review it.
Okay, sir.
Exactly. 100%.
So you
was
had
to tell
Doug
the mark.
Vaughn and Steve Savard in front
That's
of you.
correct. And I was anchoring with Larry Connors and Julius Hunter, which for people in the St. Louis area who grew up here, that's like sitting there with Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw, you know,
Uncle
and I'm
Larry.
sitting there.
Yeah, Uncle Larry.
That's right. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. It was nerve-wracking, but it was cool. I got to do it for 5 years.
Was the dream to be a sportscaster?
The dream was to call Cardinal baseball, like probably 1 million people in the St. Louis area, worshiping Jack Buck. That
Right.
was the deal. So I went to Missouri Journalism School thinking that would put me on the path. And the first day of class at the Missouri Journalism School, the guy who looked like Santa Claus, who was the professor, goes, anybody who's here for sports jock talk, I suggest you get up now and go over to the communication school. We're here for news. This
Wow.
condescending
okay.
approach as if we are, going into medical school.
You know what's funny? I had a radio teacher in college that would work for NPR who said, I work for NPR. I have a show on NPR.
Did he say aluminium?
Anybody that wants to
Aluminium.
work for commercial radio could go somewhere else. I work for NPR. Okay. What's he doing?
Yeah, exactly. Probably still teaching the class
What's
and
he
making
doing
nothing.
now? So you did the TV thing for 5 years?
No, 5 years. Well, I started in Little Rock, Arkansas, because you got to start somewhere.
Right.
That wasn't terrible, because some of my friends would start in, like, South Dakota. I mean, it would be rough, making truly minimum wage, because so many people want the jobs.
And I mean, you're a St. Louis guy.
St. Louis guy, so all I wanted to do was get to St. Louis. So
Right.
then I got to St. Louis, and the Cardinals, the Blues, and the Rams were all great at that time. So I got to travel around with those teams, which was super cool. But you're working nights and weekends, and you go into negotiations, and they're like, here it is, and if you don't like it, take it or leave it. And that was winning Emmys and Edward R. Murrow Awards, and I'd be like, oh, nice, I'm going to get paid.
Right.
And they'd be like,
Yep.
Huh. Did
Too
you ever
bad.
consider going to another market?
I got a job offer in New York at SNY
Whoa, man.
in 2007.
Oh, Snai.
And Snide.
That'd be the Mets.
Now it's the Mets, that's right. And I would have been anchoring Geico Sports Night, which came on after the Mets games. And I took it, and then I went up there to look at places. and nobody told me where to look, and so all I did was look around Manhattan, and I know you got New York Times, and that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea. Very expensive.
Oh, my goodness. It was like $4,500 a month, of course, rent for an 800-square-foot apartment, one bedroom. And I'm going, I can't afford this, but they didn't show me anywhere else, like Brooklyn Heights or Hoboken or something like that. And so I accepted the job, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do it. So I turned down New York TV.
Nobody from there like took your, at least when I got the job here, or when I was even offered the job here, somebody took me around.
Sure.
And like showed me different areas.
Yeah, but you know that whole New York market is, you're on your own. You figure it out. You'll figure it out.
Crazy. They just assumed we're offering New York. You will take it. You're coming from St. Louis radio. You'll take New York TV.
Yeah. Oh, but the job was selling itself, is what they're saying.
Exactly, and that's how it is. Think about the opportunity. The opportunity. Well, at what point do we get paid? You always were telling me about the opportunity. My agent. I had an agent at the time, television agent. He's like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest opportunity in the world." I was replacing Steve Berthium, who was on SportsCenter, and he went back to ESPN. And I remember I talked to him, and he goes, "Are you happy?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm happy. I like doing what I do in St. Louis." He goes, "All right, well, here's the rule. Never F with happiness." And I go, "Oh, that's a good one. I've used that. It's been 15 years. But if you're happy, don't F with happiness."
So you took the job in New York, and then you're like, ah.
2 weeks later, I called my agent to say I'm not taking it.
call?
He went nuts. He went nuts. I was hired by Kurt Gowdy Jr., the son of the Hall of Fame broadcaster, Kurt Gowdy. And he goes, "You're calling Kurt. You're calling Kurt." I go, "Okay." And then he tried to call me to convince me to take it. And I said, if you can pay more, then yeah. But otherwise, I'm going to be working until 1 in the morning. My wife's going to have to work a job. We'll never see each other.
Right.
And I felt like it was going to lead me on a path to SportsCenter, which sounds good. But I think the public doesn't realize that those people on ESPN don't necessarily make all that much money. Some certainly do.
Yeah,
but you got to move to Connecticut, so you got to multiply your dollars in St. Louis terms by like 2.5 or maybe 3. And then I'm like ad-libbing over NBA highlights, and I don't really care about it, you know? I mean, I care about the Cardinals, the Blues, Missouri, St. Louis U. That's why I got into this stuff.
Right, so then you come back to St. Louis, and that's when you start TMA?
TMA started in 2004. I was doing TV. And the GM at KMOV was like, "Hey, the stuff you're saying on the radio isn't necessarily great for the TV gig."
Right.
And I'm like, well, the radio gig's paying me twice as much though, as the TV gig.
Yeah. Well, and that started as an internet radio thing, right?
No, that was on KFNS,
okay,
590 in
KFNS.
2004. And then I started Inside STL in 2005 because I was killing my one-year non-compete from KMOV with TV, thinking I'd get back into TV, but I never got back into it.
Well, man. I mean, you made it here. Yeah, you made it here.
We'll see how long we last with the shrimp situation.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, just tell you guys, no microwave shellfish.
Think about things before we put them in the microwave. That's all we ask.
There are other people that work here.
No dogs in the office and no shrimp in the microwave.
Yeah, it goes like this, too.
Cool.
And if you're looking for like, oh, man, I got to watch my P's and Q's around blank, it goes Big Boss John, Big Boss Tommy, Rizz.
That's the
everybody else.
That's the pecking order.
I think I'm above Rizz.
No.
You're above.
I'm kidding.
I don't want none of that.
This is a peaceful hallway. This is a peaceful hallway.
does
You're going to
seem
find
that
out
way.
that we don't want to talk to anybody, good or bad. We don't.
And you know what?
want to see or talk to
Everybody up and down
anybody.
the hallway is awesome.
That's what I've found. I
Yeah.
can't believe. I mean, I'm just going, okay, well, this person, you just steer clear. But everybody, for real, I want to find something to complain about.
There's nothing to complain
But
about.
I don't know what
Even
to
the
do.
people.
Dude,
I know,
the
man.
mornings is like, this is the most peaceful radio hallway of all time.
I mean, think about
in the
it.
mornings.
Think about
Dreams can be had in this hallway. Yesterday, it was before noon, and I got Randy Carricker's cell number.
You did.
You got it.
I saw
In that
You got
hallway
it.
yesterday.
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
All right, Jeff, see you later.
He's already blocked me,
Right.
but I can pass it on
Well,
to
the dong
others.
pick was a bit
Aggressive.
aggressive for
The
just getting
lighting
his
wasn't
phone
even
number.
First text.
good. No big deal.
Yeah, it's his
Supposed to
first
wave
text.
with your
Just say,
hands.
we all got dongs, right, Randy?
Well,
You were just asking for his opinion on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Tom.
What do you think?
So now think about this hallway in the morning. We got you guys at the end. We got us. Next door is Remy and Casey on the country station. Courtney Landrum
Kills it.
on the Arch, and then you got you got Casey with Favaz and Hewlett, and then next door is Michelle and Randy. That's
All in a matter of like 50 yards.
yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody gets along.
That's the
How about
thing.
that?
I know, man.
Everybody gets along. Nobody's fighting. No ego.
Well, I got to pay, for real, I say this on our show all the time, but rarely in radio, at least in St. Louis radio history, usually the people who are at the top, they could be problematic is the word we will use.
Yeah.
euphemism, but problematic. But because you guys are at the top, but then are just completely just like normal, cool people, I think it sets a tone. Like if you or somebody else on the show was an ass, then you could have hashtag radio wars and all the BS that went on back in the 80s.
I saw some of your listeners like hashtag radio wars. I'm like, God, I don't
not interested in that.
Not interested.
But like I would like when Stern will have Stephen Colbert, or Jimmy Kimmel, or Jimmy Fallon in on the show. He goes, man, you got to hate Fallon, you got to hate Kimmel, you got to. And I'm like, no, it kind of doesn't matter because with podcasting and with YouTube, you can access the other show. And Stern's like, man, I hated Imus, or if I was going into this market, I wanted to make sure I took this guy out. And that's just not the mindset anymore. But I think in the 80s and 90s, even in St. Louis, I think that was going on. It's before, our time, but that's what I think was going on. And that stuff just doesn't go on. I'm not interested in messing with anything.
There's enough water in the pool for everybody.
That's the deal, man.
Right, the pool's big enough. Hey, everybody come on in.
That's the deal.
We're all good.
Even at KFNS where we left, I mean, it's a great group of people there, too. For real. There's no hard feelings. This was just a better opportunity.
Well, listen, I just wanted you to come in and say congratulations.
Thank you,
welcome
brother.
to Hubbard. And easy with the microwave stuff. I know you got to start.
Easy with the microwave.
Yeah.
I know you got to start up in what? You're on in 2 minutes?
Oh, is that right?
I think so.
Okay. Game time's on time.
Game time's on time. There he is, Tim McKernan, everybody.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.